Welcome back to the video, and in today's video, we're going to be playing a little game of Would You Let These NBA Players Date Your Daughter? We have a bunch of NBA players, the top 25 players in the league according to the site. We got the tiers above, yes, maybe, and no. And this is just based on vibes and stuff like that. Would I let these NBA players date my daughter? Assuming I had a daughter. Let's get straight into the video. Before we get into the video, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you enjoy the content. And also comment down below if you would let these NBA players date your daughter themselves. Let's get straight into it. The first player we are going to be rating is Giannis. Yes. Giannis is super, super friendly. He's always, having fun with his teammates, and he's always having fun, when he's picking the all-star teams and stuff like that, as a captain, as a coach. Everything is very, very nice with him. He's got a good vibe. Next would be a Bam. I would say maybe. He's kind of interesting because he doesn't really talk that much, but I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's just kind of neutral for me. So I need to see him a little bit more, next to my daughter, see if I actually want him to be a future girlfriend, or sorry, a future boyfriend of my daughter. Next up, we have KD. No. He's very active on Twitter, not in a good way, and he's just kind of a snake. He's not a person I'd want to let my daughter around. He seems like he's in a mind of his own, and he doesn't really care about women. Next up, we have Jokic. No, he's actually maybe. I will say maybe. I was gonna say no because he's kind of self-centered, but I would say I actually no, he's not self-centered at all though, because he does like his family. I would still say maybe though. I don't mind Jokic. Again, some of the band though, I just don't know much about him. He's just kind of a interesting NBA player where his vibe is just weird. Next we have Chris Paul. No, he's just a dirty NBA player, and he always gets in the head of people. I know he's funny in commercials, but I wouldn't let him date my daughter. He's too old as well. Next up, we have LaMelo Ball. No, he's a crybaby. He's not a person that I want to see my. He's not a person I would like to see in the room when I'm having dinner. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see him when he's with my daughter having dinner. That sounds like a horrible idea. So no. Next up, we have Darius Garland. Yeah, seems like a nice person, and he's a good player, and there's nothing that I've heard that's been bad about him, so I would 100% let Darius Garland date my daughter. Anthony Edwards, yeah, I would also let him date my daughter. Seems like a super chill dude. I see him going with, podcasts with people, and he's chilling. I do like him. I think he's got a good natural vibe, and I would like to meet him, so yes. Next, we have Luca. Maybe, because the only reason why I'm saying maybe and not yes is because he's kind of a crybaby, and I don't know if I want that at the dinner table. I don't want a person. I don't want a baby that's crying at the dinner table when he gets hit with a fork. He's just crying and hoping for a foul. Yeah, so I would say maybe because he's not bad and there's nothing really wrong about him. I just don't like his crybabiness at the dinner table. Next, we have Joel Embiid. No. It just doesn't give me good vibes. He punches a lot of players. He gets into a lot of fights in the game. Not somebody I want to get my daughter around. Seems like he would assault my daughter, and I don't need that. Next will be a Jaw. Uh, he'll protect my daughter, but I still wouldn't want to date my daughter because he'll do some weird stuff. Um, he'll probably have a gun at the dinner table every single night, and I don't really want to see that around. He'll probably, if he gets in trouble, is just gonna shoot me or something like that at the dinner table. I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see his face. Just seems like a guy that's gonna just punish me if I do anything wrong. If I take his food, he's gonna just kill me. Next we have Zion. No. I mean, he's got some bad vibes right now with women and stuff like that. It's not good when you hear about Zion. He's quite the human being, and it's not someone I'd want to let date my daughter because he's a weird dude. He's a weird, weird dude, and I don't think I want him having the dinner show, especially recently. Next up is Anthony Davis. I'll say maybe. It'd be kind of hard to stare at his unibrow at the dinner table without laughing, but he seems like a pretty chill guy, so I would probably let my daughter date him. I just don't know if I can stare at that unibrow for that long. Next would be Jay Butler. If he's got these dreadlocks, absolutely no. But I'm also going to actually say yes because he came from a story where he was homeless at a young age, and then he's kept grinding, came into a valley. I feel like that's a person that's quite loyal to my daughter, and I think he'd be a great person next to my daughter. Next to Kawhi Leonard, no, he's too quiet. My daughter's gonna be like, "Hey, how's your day going?" He'll be like, "Yes." He'll do one word answers only, and he'll talk in the most quiet voice ever. I wouldn't be able to he doesn't talk at all. He's just too quiet for my daughter, in my opinion. Next up, we have Damian Lillard. Yes, absolutely. Dame's one of the nicest players in the NBA, just based on what I've heard of. Seems like a great dude, and I have no problems with Damian Lillard. I mean, again, a similar story to Jimmy Butler. Again, not didn't grow up the richest or anything like that. It was a big comeback story, and he's a super chill guy, super chill guy. So I would let him date my daughter. Next up, we have Devin Booker. No, he's done a lot with the Kardashians, and he's done a lot with just these. He gives me that vibe where I just don't want to let my daughter date him at all. He doesn't give me a good vibe one bit. I don't know. It's his face. It's his face. I don't know what else to say. Next to Donovan Mitchell, yeah, I'll let Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a super cool guy. I think he's loyal. I think he'd be nice. And I think he's a person that I could look at the dinner table and not be mad at. So yeah, I would let him date my daughter. Next to Jaylen Brown, I would say maybe. I don't know if he's gonna be able to handle my girlfriend or my daughter. You see what I did there? Because he's not got good handles. Whatever. The joke. Yeah, I mean, maybe it just depends. Like, he doesn't give me any particularly vibe. Next we have Trae Young. Maybe. I mean, I don't really like his hair, and his hair would be kind of annoying to stare at the dinner table. And he's also quite attitudey, but other than that, he seems like he'd be fine. Next we have James Harden. No. Couldn't stare at that beard. I just couldn't stare at that beard. It would be a little bit too awkward for me. And I feel like he's one of those guys that gets really, really mad, but you can't tell it because his beard's so big. And he'd be really stern, and he wouldn't be a person that I'd want to see at the dinner table. Next we have Kyrie Irving. No, I don't need someone who thinks the earth is flat at the dinner table. I don't need someone who I would let date my daughter that thinks the earth is flat and thinks random thoughts in his head and also is just a terrible locker room teammate, so no. Next we Pascal Siakam. Honestly, yeah. I mean, again, not that I know much about him, but seems like a chill dude. Seems like somebody that I could easily meet and be happy with meeting him. Seems like a nice dude, and I know that he donates a lot of money to charity. So yeah. Next we Tyrese Halliburton. Absolutely, this dude is really really funny. He's super nice. I haven't met him obviously, but I've seen stuff with him. He's always super friendly. I would 100% let this guy date my daughter. Next, we have Domantas Sabonis. I would say maybe. Like, the only problem is, like, if he gets stomped on, he might cry because that's what happened with Draymond. But he seems like a chill dude. I just don't know if he can speak English very well. And, I'm English, so I actually don't know. I haven't really heard him talk, so I'll say maybe. Next week, Karl-Anthony Towns, maybe. Again, similar to Joel Embiid, I don't really want to see him because he might get into a lot of fights. But he also seems like a pretty chill dude, or a pretty energetic dude. So I'll say maybe. Next we have Brandon Ingram. No. This is similar to Cat. Honestly, I'm gonna put Cat down here as well. I just don't like a guy that's gonna throw punches at the dinner table. I don't need to see that. I don't want to stare at them if I know they're past. So no. Next we have Chris Middleton. Yes, his forehead's kind of big. His teeth are quite big. But at the end of the day, he's like a pretty nice dude, and the whole Bucks organization is pretty nice, honestly. Next we have Rudy Gobert. No. Just it was the COVID incident when he touched everything and then he ended up getting COVID it was a protest and it didn't work out. It just makes me want to stay away from my daughter. I just don't want to see him at the dinner table. Next up, we have LeBron. This is interesting. I don't really like LeBron. I'm gonna put him in maybe. Seems like a nice guy off the court, but he's also a crybaby, just like Luka. It's a similar scenario to Luka, and also he's also quite old, so I don't know if I really want to have him around my daughter. So I'll say maybe for now. Next, we have Jason Tatum. Absolutely, super nice guy. Has a great son. I also kind of random, but yeah, Joyce is great. And he just seems like a super fun guy, super chill guy. He's always doing a lot of stuff for people in need. Next we have Steph Curry. Kind of similar story, honestly. Absolutely, yes. He's also my favorite player in the NBA, so why would I not let my daughter date him? Super good vibes all around. Steph Curry, 100%. Next we have SGA. I would also say 100%. Again, has the hardest fits for NBA pregame. Also, is just one of the nicest dudes, and he's a fun player to watch, so I'll say yes because I think my daughter will get some good value. Next we have Paul George. I would say maybe he's kind of interesting. Like I wouldn't say he's great or bad. He's just kind of maybe. Like I don't have anything like I don't have anything significant that I'm like, yes, I want him to date my daughter. So I'll say maybe. Next up we have DeMar DeRozan. Probably not. I've heard some bad things about him. I don't really know exactly what he did, but I remember I don't know. I don't know if he got arrested or anything like that, but he's done some things where he's gotten in trouble for. So I'll say no. Next we have Bradley Beal. I'm gonna say maybe because he's so inconsistent from shooting that he's gonna be super inconsistent with my girlfriend, where he's not gonna be there some days, he is gonna be there some days. But it seems like a pretty loyal dude, so I'll say maybe. And last but not least, we have Zach LaVine. Yeah, seems like a nice guy. I would definitely let him date my daughter. Um, he's just seems like a pretty chill, nice dude. I've heard him talk a couple times, like in game when he's like mic'd up and he seems like a cool guy, and I'll say yes. Good vibe for Zach LaVine. And that's me ranking every single NBA player on whether or not I would let them date my daughter. I hope this video is fun to you guys. I hope this video doesn't get a little too serious. I hope this video is chill. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!